Hello, viewers. Thanks for watching my show. To anyone who's new to my show, my name is Jason Robinson. I am a teacher, a journalist, and a Miss America volunteer. I've had this podcast over a year now, and I'm so grateful to have interviewed many title holders. I've interviewed Chantel Krebs, the CEO and chairman of the Miss America organization. I've interviewed Kelly Cash, Heather French Henry, Caressa Cameron, Asia Branch, and so many more people. And I'm so honored to have had this podcast. Thanks to everyone who has sponsored my show. Thanks to my most recent sponsors, Tom May, Steve Van, and Sandra Gray. I'm so honored to have this opportunity for you to meet our title holders. And our guest for today is Miss Texas 2021, Mallory Fuller. Mallory, welcome to my show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so honored to have you. I watched the Miss Texas competition, and you certainly stood out to me. And by the end, I was pretty sure that you won. So congratulations to you. Special shout out to your business manager, Gayleen Baumgartner. As soon as you won, she emailed me and she was like, Jason, you should have her on your show. So Gail, thanks for making this happen. And once again, Mallory, I'm so honored to meet you.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
All right, cool. So can you tell us about your background and how you got involved in the Miss America organization?
So I have actually been involved in the Miss America organization for about 17 years now.
Wow.
I started in a program called the Lone Star Princess Program, which is a mentorship program for young girls ages 5 to 12. And I was a Lone Star Princess for my older sister, Morgan. So I grew up watching these women, and I tell people that when I was growing up, I didn't really look up to celebrities. Those weren't my role models. It was the women in the Miss America organization.
Oh, okay. So
it is an honor to be in Texas and to be able to represent everything that 5-year-old Mallory adored when she was growing up.
That is really cool. And I think that just shows the benefit of the princess programs. So to the parents out there, it pays off to have your young children in the princess program. So you have a sister who was Miss Texas, and she was Miss Texas's outstanding teen. Tony Lindsay said, was it more pressure or fun competing for the title that your sister held?
I think it was more fun. So Madison and I actually competed together the year that she won Miss Texas.
Wow.
So we ended up being roommates that year at Miss Texas, and we got so incredibly close. But honestly, I think it was more fun, and it was really cool because I felt like I got an inside view into the job in Miss Texas. And so coming into it, I wasn't blind to the sacrifices that were going to have to be made or the hard work or anything like that. So I really got an inside view into what this job would look like. I think there could have been some pressure, but I think ultimately I chose to look at it as such an opportunity that was a lot of fun and a bonding experience that Madison and I got to share together.
Oh, that is so cool. So cool. So how many times did it take you to compete in order to win Miss Texas?
So including the COVID year, it was 5 years total. So 4 times, because we know that 2020 unfortunately got postponed to 2021. So 4 times, but 5 years total.
Right.
I also competed in the Miss Texas Outstanding Teen competition for 4 years as well. So
cool. So what was your what was your placement like in the Miss Texas? Were you like top 10, top 5?
So in the teen competition, I was in the top 10 for 3 of the years that I competed, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then for Miss, I made the top 10 the year that Madison won. And then to Chandler, I was actually 4th runner-up in 2019. So that was actually my first time to make the top 5. So that was really exciting.
And then you came back and won.
I know. Yeah. And so it really has been such a journey for me, and really working super hard to get to this moment. So it's so surreal to say that I'm Miss Texas.
Yay. So I have a video of your crowning moment I want to play for the viewers. And I'll go ahead and say, it looked like your crowning moment was so emotional. Like Chandler was emotional. The outstanding teen was emotional. You were definitely emotional. So I want to play the video, and then I want to ask you, what were you thinking and feeling in that moment? All right. So for the viewers, here's a crowning moment of Miss Texas 2021, Mallory Fuller.
The first runner-up is Miss Plano Landry Chaplin. Your new Miss Texas is Miss Colleyville Mallory Fuller.
So what were you thinking and what were you feeling in your crowning moment?
Like I was saying earlier, it's been such a journey and a lot of hard work to get to that moment. And everybody always asks me this question, but it was completely blank. The only thing I remember, so you can see that I kind of squatted to the ground a little bit, and I know we all saw Chandler's amazing crowning moment,
right?
But all I remember her saying was, "Get up, Mallory, get up, Mallory." I remember that, and I remember when I was on the end of the runway seeing Madison just losing her mind in the audience, and so it really was so emotional. But I have no idea what was going on.
It looked like you were like shaking a little bit, and
it was like profuse shaking. And the crown, there were no pins in the crown. I had to hold it on the entire time. You can't tell when I'm sitting down, but I'm 5'11", and so I'm sure Chandler was having to reach up really high to get the crown on my head.
Right.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Oh, that is so cool. What a nice crowning moment. And I'm sure your family was just out of this world. Was your mom, dad, like all your family there?
Yes, my entire family was there, and I even had some friends there as well. So yes, such a moment.
Very, very cool. So shout out to the Miss Texas organization. I have much love for Miss Texas. I told you I interviewed Chandler. I interviewed Avery. Shout out to your outstanding teen, Catherine. Her name is Catherine Omo Osagi. She was second runner-up to Miss America's Outstanding Teen. How is it working or being partnered with Catherine?
Oh my goodness. I adore Catherine. She is so sweet. And it's really cool because Catherine and I have such different journeys in the Miss Texas organization.
Right.
She won teen on her very first try. And for me, it took 10 years. But it's really cool to see how our journeys work together, and also how our social impacts work together. She has an incredible story of overcoming an abusive home. And so my platform is suicide prevention. And so seeing the way that it works together is just it's really cool how timing works and how everything happens for a reason.
Right. So speaking of your platform, how did you choose that as a platform or a social impact initiative?
Social impact. So my social impact is Mallory's Mission, suicide prevention. And I lost one of my good friends to suicide.
Oh, no.
And then my best friend also struggled with suicidal thoughts. And so it kind of has been a overarching theme in my life. I've been affected by it in multiple ways. But my goal is really to bring awareness to the warning signs of suicide, what we can do when we think that somebody may be struggling, so that we can prevent it before it happens. So it's a very proactive approach to suicide prevention, and really learning how to recognize those warning signs in the people around us.
Yeah, my best friend, his name is Devin. He told me when we were like 20 years old that he was suicidal, and I don't know why he told. I guess because I was so close to him, but it made us even closer. It kind of made me look out for him, and and I think in the last 20 years, like the suicide rates have just skyrocketed, and I even asked myself, like, why is it going up so much? But I know, when I was a kid, we didn't have social media. So if something negative happened in your life, it just happened and you went home and it was over. But now there's social media. People can post videos and all that. And I remember years ago, there was a student at Rutgers University. Somebody posted a video of him online doing something, and he committed suicide right after that. So that's really cool that you're doing work to prevent this. And at my job, I work in education. They've taught us the warning signs. And I think that's something everybody should know, so that if there's somebody in your life dealing with this, you'll know, recognize it.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that. So I actually had the opportunity to partner with an organization called the Jason Foundation, which created an act called the Jason Flat Act. And it makes it mandatory for teachers to be trained in suicide prevention annually. And so education, I absolutely believe that teachers are on the forefront of this. They can recognize these warning signs in their children. So it's interesting that you mentioned that. And that's another way that I'm trying to further my reach, is being able to talk to teachers about it as well. Right.
And I just hope there's something we could do to bring those numbers down. And of course, if you're Miss America, you could just spread your platform all over the nation and maybe make an impact that way. So let's see. Katie Jackson Holland said, "Why did you pick your talent?" I love your talent. So can you tell us about it?
Yes. So I mentioned earlier that I was a Lone Star Princess for my older sister, Morgan. We've talked a little bit about Madison, but Morgan was also a fiddle player. And when I was younger, I used to sit in the audience and she would play the Orange Blossom Special, which is one of the songs that I played at Miss Texas. And I would just get chills all over.
Oh, okay.
And so when I was growing up, I was like, I want to be just like Morgan. And so I started playing fiddle at the age of 6 and absolutely fell in love with it and continued doing that. And I love fiddle music because it's so upbeat and it just makes you happy.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool that you and your sisters are so close. That's really cool.
Yes, very close.
Yeah, I love your talent. I have a video, but it's not of your talent from this year. It was from 2019. So I would love to let the audience listen to it and view it just to get a sense of Mallory Fuller's talent. So here's Mallory Fuller when she was competing for Miss Texas 2019, competing in talent.
Mallory Fuller, Plano.
So I would not be surprised. I'm just going to say if you won talent at Miss America, I would not be surprised at all.
Oh, thank you.
Is the fiddle similar to a violin or viola?
So a violin and a fiddle, it's the same instrument. Fiddle is bluegrass country music. Yeah.
All right, cool. So when you began competing, the lifestyle and fitness category was still a part of the Miss America organization, and since then it's been removed. I'm curious, how did you feel about the removal of the lifestyle and fitness category from the Miss America competition?
Growing up, this was something that I watched, and the swimsuit portion, I did compete in the swimsuit competition, and it was something that really motivated me to stay physically fit.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie, I was not mad about it being removed at all.
Okay.
I think that the Miss America's mission of focusing on what women have to say and really our inward beauty and social impact initiatives, I'm so excited to be a part of this new wave of Miss America. But I do think that health and fitness is something that's really important. For me, going into competing for Miss Texas, I wanted to be the very best version of myself. Mm-hmm. And I lost 30 pounds from the beginning of this year until the Miss Texas competition because I wanted to be physically fit for the job. And you truly do have to be healthy and you have to be fit for the job because it is one that it's hard work.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beauty of the Miss America organization is that we do focus on health in a broader sense, not necessarily if you look the best in a bikini, but you're physically fit to do the job of Miss Texas or Miss America.
Right. I remember when I interviewed Miss America 2010, Caressa Cameron, she mentioned to me how she often had to run through the airport catching flights and stuff like that. And so you do have to actually be physically healthy to do the job. And now Miss America has a new partnership, a new sponsorship with an athletics company. So, they're bringing it back in, and incorporating it in some ways.
Yes.
All right. So Anne Flinders said interest in pageants are dwindling. What can you do to increase interest among candidates and sponsors?
So one thing that I really wanted to focus on when I was Crown Miss Texas was my experiences in this organization. So when I first started competing, I was shy and I was awkward, and I 100 in a million years could not sit here and do this interview right now.
Wow.
I just was so self-conscious and awkward and insecure. But because of the Miss America organization and the opportunities that I was given and really pushing myself out of my comfort zone, I've become the person that I am today. And so one thing that I'm really excited about as Miss Texas is doing workshops for prospective candidates and teaching them about the scholarship opportunities. When I was Crown Miss Texas, I was awarded over $25,000 in scholarships to go towards my dream career. But also the personal and professional development that you can get from this organization, interview skills, public speaking skills, perfecting your talent, and just all of the things, and as well as the sisterhood. I've made some of my absolute best friends through this organization. And so really just promoting what this organization can give you is something that I'm looking forward to doing as Miss Texas.
Very cool. What is your dream job?
So I am actually a master's student right now. I'm getting my degree in communication sciences and disorders to be a speech pathologist.
Right.
So I look forward to, I actually am very interested in the adult populations for speech pathology.
Wow.
With stroke patients. So I'm really excited to continue learning about that and furthering that when I get done with being Miss Texas.
Wow, very cool. I never really thought about that. Actually, at my job yesterday, we had CPR training yesterday, and we were talking about all the health problems that somebody can get, and the instructor was talking about strokes and how your side of your face is paralyzed and all that. And yeah, that's really cool that you could possibly, help with that. Somebody who might have to learn how to speak again.
Right.
Lily Gale said, what drives you to be the best version of yourself? What makes you so compassionate?
I think for me, I mentioned earlier that going into Miss Texas, I wanted to be the best version of myself. And that looked like physical health, but it also looked like mental health and protecting my mental health. I've mentioned that my social impact is suicide prevention, but really it starts with building our mental health. And that was something that I wanted to focus on this year, and really making myself the healthiest version in all aspects. And so that's what drives me to be the best version of myself.
Mental health is so important. And I know for a fact, in the African American community, it's been kind of taboo or something. Like, we don't like, I know when I was a kid, I had a sister who was murdered actually. And I did when I was 15. And I went to the doctor one time to get a checkup, and I don't know what I was saying, like I'm having trouble sleeping or something. She said, you talk like somebody who has seen something traumatic. And I said, well, when I was 15, my sister died, and I was in the house when it happened and all that. And she said, I think you have PTSD and you should talk to someone. And my mother immediately was like, no, Jason, don't do that. They're going to give you medicine. So I know in our community, mental health has been taboo for years, but I think now people are starting to open up, and we're going through COVID now, and a lot of my students, I've heard that among kids, suicide rates are going up. So mental health is so, so important.
And I think we really need to start looking at mental health just like physical health.
Yeah.
And one thing I actually have done is I wrote a children's book called Henry's Happy Heart. And the real premise behind the book is asking for help if you are feeling sad or if your emotions feel like they're out of whack.
Right.
Just like you would go see the school counselor if you had a headache or a stomach ache.
Yeah.
So I think when we really move from, and I even seeing it with Simone Biles in the Olympics, moving from this idea of like physical health needs to be treated a certain way, but mental health is way over here.
Right.
To come together and be treated with the same seriousness.
Yeah. And I think often it's seen as weakness. Like, I don't want to do this. My mental health. It's like, oh, you're weak or something. Yeah. So let's see. What is your favorite and least favorite phase of competition? I'm just curious.
If you would have asked me when I first started competing, I would have told you that my least favorite was the speaking aspect. So on stage, but I really have developed a love for it. It's kind of an adrenaline rush because you have no idea what they're going to ask you when you're standing up there.
Right.
So if you would have asked me a long time ago, I would have said on stage question. But I think my favorite has to be talent. There is no greater feeling than finishing your talent and having that rush of, oh my goodness, that was so much fun. All the adrenaline. So talent is definitely my favorite.
Right. Going into finals night, did you have like a feeling like I might win, or were you just like, who knows what's going to happen, or I don't think I do? Like, how did you feel going into that last night?
I felt really good. I felt really at peace with everything that I had done that week. I felt like I did the best performance possible. So actually, Texas always does a top 12. And when we were announcing the top 12, we were getting down to the top 12, and the MC says one more spot, and they call Miss Keller, who was actually my roommate, and I absolutely loved her. But I was like, wait, counting them, like, why?
Right.
And then they had 2 more spots, so we ended up with the top 14, but there was a little part of me that was dying on the inside.
Oh, God.
After all of the competition was done, I really felt a overwhelming peace about the entire process. And my faith is one that's really important to me. And so I really feel like God was speaking to me in that moment and telling me that I had done everything that I possibly could, and that it was in His hands in that moment. And then I was at peace until they called my name, and then all the emotions.
Yeah, I do remember that because I watched the prelims too, and I remember the final night, like it kind of took a long time for them to call your name. And so I know, I was like, wait a minute, where is she or whatever? Yeah. So let's see. What advice would you give to girls who want to be Miss Texas?
I think 100% be yourself. And the other one is to continue working hard towards your goals.
Okay.
I mentioned that this has been such a long journey for me. And I think there were times when especially when I was a teen contestant, I saw myself as Madison's little sister, and I didn't really see the potential that I had. And so you begin to believe in yourself and work really hard and never give up on your dreams. You can be Miss Texas one day.
Yay, that's cool. So, what do you do for fun?
I've talked about my family a lot, and I'm really close to them. My oldest sister, Morgan, she has a son. So I have a 2-year-old nephew, and he is literally our entire world. And that's what we do for fun. We watch him be cute. So hang out, I love hanging out with my family. And then working out is also something that I love to do. So I do that for fun too.
I actually visited Texas about a month ago. I went to Dallas and I went to Houston, and I went to like all the stadiums where the major teams play. Yeah. So I had a lot of fun in your state. Yeah, a lot of fun in your state.
I am actually going to be playing the national anthem at a Rangers game in a couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about.
Very cool. Very, very cool. If you won the title of Miss America, what would you want to accomplish during your year of service?
I think that absolutely has to go back to suicide prevention. I have some ideas and some plans for what I would want to do. Those are all still in the works, but I think being able to teach people about the warning signs of suicide is so incredibly important, and what I would use my year championing.
Right. And I think it's very relevant. Very, very relevant. I think I just have maybe 2 more questions. If you could meet any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Oh, I was not prepared for this one.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I love Carrie Underwood. I think she's so classy and so amazing. And I am a huge country music fan. So Carrie Underwood.
I love her singing How Great Thou Art. She sang it, I guess, at the CMA Awards or something. One time I listened to that a lot. I love her singing How Great Thou Art. And that last note is amazing. Amazing. Do you sing at all or no?
Oh, no. Not at all.
Right. And
in my shower, I think I sound decent, but no.
Last question, I think, is what would you love the public to know about you? Just anything that you want us to know about you.
I think it's really easy for us to get caught up and see the sash and the crown and to automatically have a preconceived idea of who that person is. But I think I would just want people to know that, yes, I'm Miss Texas, but I'm still Mallory. And I'm a small town girl. I love people, and I really just have a passion for making people see the joy in every day. And
Right.
what I would want people to know.
Excellent, excellent. And aside from the title and the crown, I think the job is so important. Your job that you're spreading the message about suicide prevention, it literally, sorry, will save lives one day. So I think that's amazing. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing us to get to know you. And you can stay on the call, and then I'll finish up the show and then talk to you in a minute or two. Okay?
Thank you so much.
To the viewers, once again, thanks for watching my show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed meeting Miss Texas 2021 Mallory Fuller. If you would like to contact me, you can email me at jasontimothy.robinson@gmail.com. Feel free to donate to my GoFundMe account. Look me up. You could donate to my Cash App. It's $JTROBIN. Some of my future guests are Miss District of Columbia 2021 Angela Medina, Miss Colorado 2021, Miss Utah 2021 Sasha Sloan, and Miss Oklahoma 2021, and many more. So please click the subscribe button and the notifications bell so that you can be aware of when I have all my shows. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you watch the next one. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.